Kono. Alter ego, Britta and Nan. Occupation, Legionnaire. Known relatives, Belle and Nan. Mother. Group affiliation, Legion of Superheroes, Jonah's Smuggling Ring. Base of operations, 30th Century United Planets Space. First appearance, Legion of Superheroes, 2nd Series, number 2, December 1989. Height, 5 foot. Weight, 115 pounds. Eyes, blue. Hair, blue. History. Britta and Nan hails from Sklar, a planet where women know their place, being in control. All rights and privileges are held exclusively by females, and the men are acknowledged solely for the necessary role in the procreative process. The Sklarians technologically trail the advanced UP worlds, and they think they know why. They're being told their culture will be severely disrupted if the wonders of the 30th century were suddenly tossed into the mix. They figure that's exactly what a conspiracy of worlds secretly dominated by males would say to cover their tracks. So the highest calling of a Sklarian woman is that of a technology raider. One of the most revered of these raiders is Belle and Nan. Belle once aided the Hag, a wicked sorceress who was actually the beautiful and powerful White Witch, who turned into an ugly and shriveled old bag by the jealous wizard Mordru. In thanks for Belle's assistance, the Hag performed a spell that supposedly promised the Sklarian a daughter of mighty abilities who would know glory and adventure as had no Sklarian before her. Belle didn't take the Hag or her spell very seriously, but when she eventually conceived her first daughter Britta, Belle was in for a few surprises. Britta was clearly of high intelligence and single-mindedness, but she also displayed the astonishing ability to transfer mass between herself and other objects. Britta enjoyed an idyllic childhood, riding along with her mother on daring raiding missions. She couldn't wait till she was old enough to participate fully in the wild life her mother was enjoying. Exciting adventure, plenty of male pursuers to outwit, and lots of legal and illegal libations. But Britta was a little taken aback to discover her mother occasionally disregarded what was supposedly the greatest taboo on Sklar, actual sexual relations with males. By the time Britta was approaching her teens, the Great Collapse had hit the UP, and the fearsome Khans were overrunning vulnerable planets wholesale. Lacking high-tech defences, Sklar fell quickly, and the population there was subjected to its worst nightmare, male domination. As the Khand armies marched proudly through Sklar's capital city, Britta did what any noble daughter of Sklar possessing her powers would have done. She used her mass-shifting abilities to render all Khand clothing immaterial. If there's one thing a Khand soldier can't tolerate, it's to be humiliated, especially by a woman. Sooner or later, the Khans would learn who was responsible, so Britta figured it was time to get off Sklar and disappear into the mainstream UP worlds. Britta was drawn into the hedonist world of Rimbor, where she went into competition against Jonah, former Legionnaire Ultra Boy, smuggling the non-addictive intoxicant Silver Ale. Joe quickly decided he'd rather work with Britta than against her and brought her into his smuggling ring. Later, Britta was recruited into Reap, Chameleon Boy Daggle's band of ex-legionnaires when they took off to rescue Misa Now from Mordru. Though only an adolescent, Britta's propensity to imbibe had already earned her the nickname Kono, a name derived from the 30th century ale known as Kono juice. The young girl is constantly being asked about the beverages she's consuming in such huge quantities, and her answer is always that she's drinking delicious, wholesome Kono juice. Kono is a representative daughter of Sklar, determined to live life to the fullest and fully convinced of the superiority of her race and of the female sex. She's learned a grudging respect for Jonah, who is now the mother figure in Kono's life. Powers and weapons. Kono possesses the ability to shift mass between herself and other people or objects. She's also mastered the skill of shifting mass between outside objects and persons without using her own body as an intermediary. She's capable of giving herself tremendous density or of rendering herself an immaterial phantom. Kono has yet to master the art of reducing the mass of her body and her clothing at the same time, and must exercise intense concentration to avoid baring her anatomy when she uses this power. Not being in the least modest, however, Kono isn't bothered by this limitation.